Hello, fans and friends of Superior Physical Therapy. This is Andrew Grecki, and this month's newsletter is going to be me helping you understand the shoulder complex and what are the most common things or causes of shoulder pain. So today we're going to do kind of an anatomy lesson quickly, and also I'm going to describe the anatomy of the shoulder as well as the three most common diagnoses of shoulder pain and what they are. So here we are on our Essential Anatomy app. You can see that the shoulder, here's the shoulder blade or the scapula. That's a floating bone that moves along the rib cage. You can see that here is the humerus, the arm bone, the ball of the socket. The socket is actually the scapula. You can see here. It's kind of cool to look at. So a very shallow ball and socket. And then again, scapula, humerus. And then if I move over here, you can see this is the clavicle. That's also part of the shoulder. It attaches to the sternum. So this is the sternoclavicular joint right here. There's a joint right there that has to move when you move your arm. And then the sternoclavicular joint, and then the AC joint is right here, where the clavicle attaches to the scapula. So that's kind of neat. You can see the bones of the scapula, of the shoulder. So there's four joints. The one is where the scapula moves on the ribs. The second one is the ball and socket. The third one is the AC joint. And I don't know why this thing is moving out of my sight here. And then the fourth one is where the clavicle meets the sternum. So those are the joints. Let's look at the muscles. So we all typically know the rotator cuff. You can see here that there are four main muscles in the rotator cuff: supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and then this is the subscapularis, so kind of the one on the back side. Look at that, it's on the back side of the scapula. Those are the rotator cuff muscles. So those are the ones most commonly we hear about things going wrong. We also have the short head of the biceps that goes into the shoulder and kind of attaches to this little hook right here, where you can sometimes get biceps tendonitis. And then the long head of the biceps is right here. You can see that long head. That's very common to get inflammation of the biceps tendon. So it's important to pay attention to this space right here. This is the shoulder blade, the top of the shoulder blade, and then the humerus. There's a space here called the subacromial space. You see that? It's about 5 millimeters, but you can see that your rotator cuff muscle, the supraspinatus, actually goes underneath this bone, and there's a roof in there. That's a roof, the bony roof. That's where most of our shoulder problems are, underneath this area. Whether it's bursitis, tendonitis, rotator cuff tearing, that's where it happens, is in that space. It's also why at nighttime there's shoulder pain. During the day, gravity is pulling the arm bone down vertically towards the ground, and it opens up the space. When you lay down at night, the space gets smaller and it compresses that roof right there, and so you get what's called impingement syndrome. So those are the muscles, and now of course we've got, let's get rid of the muscles, and you've got soft tissue, connective tissue. Look at this. These little things are called bursas. These are fluid-filled sacs that are designed to lubricate the tendons and the ligaments. This is a common one to have a problem with, the subacromial bursa. And what else do we have for connective tissue? This is a capsule. So this is a nice tight capsule around the ball and socket joint. So you hear things like frozen shoulder or adhesive capsulitis. That's a shoulder problem that we're going to talk about. So there's the quick anatomy lessons of the shoulder. Tomorrow I'm going to talk with you about the three most common diagnoses of shoulder pain, and then finally on Wednesday I'm going to talk to you about the three most common problems that actually cause those diagnoses, like what goes wrong in the body. But there's our quick anatomy lesson. I do want to remind everybody or announce that we're hosting a free shoulder pain workshop. It's actually called a free rotator cuff and shoulder pain workshop this month, and I want to invite you to it personally. We have 20 seats available, and it's free to come, and we're going to talk about the shoulder and strategies on how to relieve shoulder pain naturally, avoiding medications, injections, and surgery. It'll be definitely more detailed than these emails, but I hope you enjoyed my quick tutorial on the shoulder anatomy.